The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. In 1815, Edmond Dantès, a young, successful sailor, is about to be promoted and marry his beautiful fiancée, Mercedes. His success draws the envy of three men: Danglars, a jealous shipmate; Mondego, a rival for Mercedes; and Château, a greedy neighbor. Danglars writes a false letter claiming Edmond is a Bonapartist traitor, setting the stage for his arrest. Edmond Dantès is arrested on his wedding day. He is interrogated by the ruthless prosecutor Villefort, who learns the letter names his own father as the true Bonapartist. To protect his own political future, Villefort destroys the evidence and sends Edmond to the infamous island prison, the Château d'If. Years pass in isolation. He cries out, believing he has been forgotten and driven mad by the terrible injustice. After 7 long years, Edmond Dantès hears a strange scraping noise and meets his neighbor, the brilliant, elderly Abbé Faria. The abbé teaches him history, science, languages, and combat, turning the naive sailor into an intellectual master. Faria also deduces who betrayed Edmond and shares the secret location of a vast treasure on the island of Monte Cristo. When the Abbé Faria dies, Edmond Dantès uses a desperate plan. He hides inside his mentor's burial sack and is thrown into the sea. He is rescued by smugglers and eventually locates the massive, legendary treasure on the island of Monte Cristo. Rich beyond measure, he spends several years establishing his new identity as the Count of Monte Cristo. Cold, elegant, and ready for revenge. 23 years later, the Count of Monte Cristo arrives in Paris, a mysterious figure of fabulous wealth, instantly welcomed by society. He systematically researches his 3 betrayers: Danglars, now a greedy banker; Mondego, now a wealthy general; and Villefort, now the esteemed king's prosecutor. He manipulates each man using their own specific vice: greed for Danglars, pride for Mondego, and hidden secrets for Villefort. The Count of Monte Cristo first targets Fernand Mondego, exposing how he betrayed his comrades and sold a fortress to the Turks years earlier. Mondego's honor and reputation are instantly destroyed, leaving him bankrupt and abandoned by society. His desperate wife, Mercedes, recognizes the Count's true identity as Edmond and pleads with him to spare her son, Albert. Next, the Count of Monte Cristo turns his focus on the greedy Baron Danglars, using financial schemes to bring the banker's fortunes down. Danglars tries to flee Paris with the little money he has left, but the Count has already arranged for his capture in Italy. He is captured by Italian bandits working for the Count and taken to a remote cave. Danglars is held captive in a remote cave and forced to pay exorbitant prices for food and water. This treatment perfectly mirrors the suffering and loneliness that Edmond experienced during his own unjust imprisonment. The revenge on Villefort is the most complex, as the Count of Monte Cristo begins to expose a series of shocking secrets about his family. The Count first exposes Villefort's darkest secret: a child he fathered out of wedlock, whom he believed he buried alive years ago. Then he exposes the systematic poisoning within Villefort's household, revealing that the prosecutor's own wife is the culprit. The wife, exposed and cornered, chooses to poison herself and their remaining son rather than face public execution. Villefort completely loses his mind from the overwhelming guilt and loss, wandering the streets in utter madness. The Count finally reveals himself to the mad prosecutor as Edmond Dantès before leaving him to his miserable fate. Having achieved his ultimate revenge, Edmond Dantès shows mercy to the captive Danglars, releasing him after he is left penniless and humbled. Edmond provides a final act of charity to his only kind friend from the past, the family of Morel, securing their financial future. He then reconciles with Mercedes, leaving her a small part of his fortune before the two part ways forever. The Count watches Mercedes one last time, recognizing her profound sorrow and accepting their final separation. After his vengeful mission is complete, Edmond Dantès finds that his revenge has left him emotionally empty and questioning his methods. He reflects on the destructive power he wielded, realizing he became an instrument of fate, but not of true goodness. He understands that he must put aside his dark past and realize that true happiness is found in human connection and a hopeful future. Edmond finds genuine, selfless love with Haydée, the young woman whose father was betrayed and destroyed by Mondego. He writes a final letter to his faithful friend, Maximilien Morel, passing on the lesson of perseverance and endurance. With his revenge complete and his new purpose clear, he sails away with Haydée, embodying his final philosophy, wait and hope. The novel explores the key themes of justice versus revenge, showing that one brings peace while the other only brings emptiness. Dumas uses the Count's vast wealth to illustrate the power of social manipulation and the corruptibility of 19th century French society. Ultimately, the story confirms the power of hope, symbolized by the Abbé Faria's gift of knowledge and wealth to the suffering prisoner. Did you like this story? Let us know. Hit that like button, drop a comment below, and be sure to subscribe to Storytime Illustrated so you never miss a classic. Want more epic tales? Click on either video on screen now for your next illustrated story.